April is Child Abuse Prevention Month, and there are things you can do to help prevent child abuse in your own neighborhood, schools, churches. Parenting expert Heather Waterfield is here to talk about 5 protective factors, ways you can help prevent child abuse. It really, nobody sets out to deliberately harm a child. They're at a loss for how to deal with problems.
And it's true, especially because parenting is a hard job. You know, it provides a lot of stresses in the family. And we know there's a new initiative that's called Protecting Children by Strengthening Families. And instead they focus, instead on the risks and deficits that families have, and looking at their strengths and resilience that they have. So these 5 protective factors can help families reduce the instances of child abuse and neglect if they have some of these things. And these things can be helped through, like you said, communities and neighborhoods and churches. The first factor is making sure that families can cope in challenging times and being able to have some of those things. For example, if they lose a job or if they have a new baby or a death in the family, the more support that they have, the better they are able to cope, and then that can reduce the instances of child abuse and neglect. And tied to that are friends and neighbors who can provide emotional assistance to parents if they offer a hand, offer to watch the child for a couple hours, or take them over some dinner, so that way parents can have some social connections and social support, again, to help reduce those.
You need somebody to call when you need help.
Yeah, you do, and sometimes because we might take that out on our children because they're closest to us, and so by having people to turn to in these times of need is very important for families. Parents' knowledge of child development, I think, is a big one. Sometimes we have...
What's normal?
Well, we have unreasonable expectations, like a crying baby, a tantruming 2-year-old, a defiant 3-year-old. If parents have some knowledge, whether it comes from parenting classes or maybe even child care providers or the early childhood field, can help educate parents, and so they're better able to deal with children's behaviors. Financial security to weather those unexpected costs.
Well, this is a big one right now. We've seen families, fathers kill the entire family because they're afraid they won't be able to provide for them.
Right, and so providing families access to some of these things, letting them know there are services out there to help them either to weather some of these unexpected costs or learn how to do a budget for families, because that's something that not a lot of people know how to do, especially in times like this. And finally, it's providing children with the social and emotional assistance that they need to interact with others well. So whether you're a neighbor, go say hello to the children, support some of the services they do. By doing that, you know, we let children know that we care about them, and then they in turn feel good about themselves, because the more disruptive and behaviors that a child has, the more likely they are to be taken out on. Because so if we have children who feel good about themselves, that helps reduce the instances of behaviors too, to reduce child abuse and neglect.
Anytime you even suspect that some kind of abuse or neglect might be happening, you must report that so that it can be investigated properly by the state. You can find